So I thought it would be fun to drop a little bonus Q&A for all of the members and all of you watching the Geekdom 101 channel. This is a members only Q&A. If you want to become a member of the channel, click the join button and watch the video. It'll outline what the features come with, and this is one of them. Tier 2s and up get access to bonus Q&As like this where I answer your questions, and let's get to it. With the members only Q&As, the reason why they're different than regular Q&As is because when it comes to these, your question will get answered, most likely. Much higher likelihood because there's a lot less questions to go through. So let's go ahead and get to it right here. We're going to start here with Our Time Turnip. How is Geekdom doing? His personal health okay? And what are some things he's looking towards 2021? I'm okay. As far as what I'm looking forward to, traveling. I really, really want to travel. I'm kind of tired of being stuck here and not getting to go anywhere. So I'm going to make some plans to make some trips and get out of here for, a nice little vacation. Jonathan Thomas writes, do you think they will ever step out of the mold when it comes to storytelling Dragon Ball Super? I certainly hope so. The Moro arc, as I've said many times before, is just an amalgam of different Dragon Ball ideas that have been introduced in the past. And while Moro himself is a creative and unique villain, he wound up kind of being somewhat generic by the end. Now again, the manga arc, the Moro arc, is not over. So I can't sit here and say he's not going to improve, but I think we're kind of winding down this arc now. We're close to the end, I feel, based on what I'm sensing. And it sounds like it's going to be more of the same, really. So, yeah, I do hope that they kind of change things up a bit and take some more risks in the future. Like I've said before, go past the end of Z and give us something unique and different. 3 o'clock asks, hi Geekdom, I was wondering when Dragon Quest Dai comes out, will you be making content of it on your channel? Yes, most likely I will. Don't know for sure how much, but I will probably be talking about it. Mickey D's 11 says, what are steps you take before conducting an interview? Any tips you can give? Yes, prepare. Research. If you're going to be interviewing somebody and it's somebody who has some sort of background or some kind of history or something, prepare, have some questions, prepare for follow-up questions. That's my best advice. I'm pretty good at doing interviews. I would be honest if I'm saying I'm probably the best person in this fandom that does interviews, just because if you listen to my body of work on icons, every interview I've done, whether it be with Sean Schemmel or Tiffany Vollmer, most recently Chris Ayres, we always get a lot of good information out of it. So I'm really proud of my body of work when it comes to that. And a lot of it is just being able to listen, give follow-up questions, and prepare. And make sure you don't ask the same old tired questions as before. Come up with something unique. Enigma of the Echidna. I can never pronounce that. The Knuckles race. If it's still in business, thanks COVID, would you do a meet and greet at Super Saiyan or Super Saiyan? Yeah, absolutely I would. Schwartzy says, what's your opinion on the rumored Mass Effect remaster? So, I might lose some brownie points with the gamers here, but I have actually never played Mass Effect. Not a single one. I've never played it. So, if there is going to be a remaster, that might be the perfect opportunity for me to go in and try it out. So, if it comes out, good. Ultra Instinct Paul writes, DBS episode 66 felt very rushed, specifically with Vegito. Do you think there was something that went wrong there behind the scenes? Also, do you think Goku will challenge Moro to a kiss my arse match? I don't think the second one's going to happen, even though that would make Dragon Ball certainly something new that hasn't been done before in Dragon Ball, which is what we talked about a minute ago. As far as something that went wrong behind the scenes, no. I don't think anything went wrong behind the scenes. I think we've documented this, that Vegito Blue being in Dragon Ball Super was completely a corporate decision made by Shueisha and Toei that Toyotaro would later adapt to his manga. It was not one that Toriyama had written. And I'm guessing they figured, let's just put him in for one episode, get a cheap pop out of it, get a cheap ratings boost out of it. And that's exactly what they did. A lot of folks want Vegito to be in the series longer. They wanted him to have more time, but it's just done as a cheap sort of promotional thing. I mean, it worked for that episode. It was awesome. But obviously, Vegito fans wanted more of it. That's not what their intentions were. Bob Gensi writes, seeing as Ultimate Gohan's form was unlocked by a god, and seeing as Ultra Instinct is obtained through training with gods and angels, Could it be, and should it be, used as the beginning to Gohan to tap into Oh Man Ultra Instinct? I think you meant Omen, but he wrote Oh Man. I would love it if that move was called Ultra Instinct Oh Man. It wouldn't need much retcons, and it would be a good way to make Gohan relevant again. Well, here's the thing. Having your power unlocked, the way that the Supreme Kai, the old Supreme Kai did, was definitely something that was a celestial thing in nature, but Gohan hasn't even learned God Ki yet. He can't even tap into the God forms. Now, understand, you do not have to know God Ki to know Ultra Instinct. They've never said that before. They've never stated that before, that you have to know God Ki, but it seems to be implied that the more knowledge you have of just the world, the universe, the multiverse, including God Ki, that it is a possibility. So I think the idea would probably work out better if Gohan learned how to do what Vegeta learned how to do, which is tap into God Ki at will and then work his way up. So this whole idea of making Gohan relevant again, it's all going to come down to, first of all, I think he is relevant. He's not the main character, or he's not the main leader like he was during the fights with Cell and Super Buu, but he's definitely still in the game, even though he's been kind of a cheerleader. And, you know, if people want him to be the top guy again, I mean, I guess they could do it for one arc, maybe. Throw fans a bone. But he's never going to be the replacement to Goku. Toriyama already made that call many years ago. But as far as giving him new powers, I mean, he got pretty strong in the TOP. Remember, he went toe-to-toe with Blue Goku, and Goku beat him, but he still went toe-to-toe with him. He didn't just get dropped. And to me, that shows you how strong Gohan's gotten in Super. So, just crazy power. So, I think for Gohan to get new levels of power, he's going to have to show the motivation to get that. And I certainly hope that he does at some point. He's never really shown interest in doing it, whereas Vegeta and Goku always show interest. So I think that's the issue, is that Gohan's character doesn't care as much, even though I think he should. Kaput says, what Dragon Ball villain would you like to see come next in Super? Somebody new and somebody unique. I've done like little joke videos with Real to Real about bringing back Janemba and Baby, and that's all fun if they reboot those characters and make them, like, you know, give them a new backstory, or at least not a brand new backstory, but like a somewhat different backstory that goes into alignment with the Super story. But I would love to see somebody new. So Moro was a good idea as far as challenging Goku and Vegeta on an intellectual level. I would like to see more stuff like that. That would be fun. Mecha saying, what video game would you like to see get made into a movie? Well, typically video games are garbage. Let's just keep it real. Video game movies. Video game movies are typically trash. You know, they are. But there's been some good ones. You know, Mortal Kombat, the original, I thought was a fun movie and accurate to the game. I like Silent Hill. For me, I would like it if they made a movie out of, like, a live action. Metal Gear Solid would be a fun little movie. But the game's already pretty cinematic. And can you really fit that storyline in 2 hours? You know what I mean? So that's tough. Sonic the Hedgehog, I think, was good. Actually, very good. And Detective Pikachu was also a lot of fun. So, I don't know. I feel like, like I said, Metal Gear Solid would be a good choice, but it would probably have to be better as a TV series, maybe. Legend of Zelda is one that I would like to see also be a movie. What's your favorite and least favorite video you've ever made? Least favorite is probably going to be one of the videos I made back in 2015 when I had like no editing and a bad mic. There was one video I made that was really cringe where I talked about like challenging Dragon Ball YouTubers to trivia or something. It was really dumb and I sounded so stupid in that video. That's my least favorite video. Favorite video is probably The Truth About Dragon Ball GT Explained and all of the Dragon Ball in-depths. And the transformation guides I think are really fun too. I enjoyed making those so much. The more recent stuff I've been putting out the last couple of years I'm very proud of. But probably my favorite video is the one that I'm working on right now, which is the ending of Dragon Ball GT Explained. And that's going to be a big video coming out in November. So that's probably going to be my favorite video I ever made because I'm answering that question. No theories. I am giving you the straight up answer about what happened. Demon of Empire, what are you most excited about for the next generation of consoles? Nothing yet. I like some of the games coming out, but there's nothing yet that's really that, like, oh my goodness, I can't wait. I guess the next Dragon Quest game and the next Final Fantasy 7 Part 2 or whatever, and Final Fantasy 16 looks pretty cool. So there's that. But there's nothing yet that's really captured my imagination as far as I must have it, which is why I did not pre-order a PS5, because I'm going to wait till next year, until we have more of a game library to really dive into. DY, do you believe Goku will put 2 and 2 together and realize that the reincarnation of Kid Buu may have God Ki since he starts to trash him in the future, or train him in the future? Yes, if they go past the end of Z, they're definitely going to somewhat retcon it to where Oob has God Ki. So, I think he will. Unknown Duelist, do you think Merus will return, and do you think Goku will lose again tomorrow? I have a video coming out. Well, yeah, actually, I'm probably going to drop this Q&A on probably today, which is the 24th. So, yeah, I think I have a video coming out Saturday with Oppai Senpai about predictions about what's going to happen. Like my predictions about what's going to happen in Super and Oppai's next manga chapter. And I don't know about Merus returning, but I think Goku's not just going to win this fight. I think he'll win eventually, but not this soon. Hunter, do you think at some point Beerus will have to fight a villain, not get the kill, and fight as a means to give the reader, viewer, an idea of how far Goku, Vegeta, and maybe Broly have to surpass him if they haven't already? I wouldn't want a finger poke of doom situation. Also, what would you rather see, the New Day team with Dude Love or the Fiend versus Mankind? Mick Foley fan here. The Fiend and Mankind for sure. As far as your first question, I do like the idea of Beerus sort of losing to a villain and having Goku or Vegeta beat him, because it does show that they passed him, and that's something that's probably going to happen at some point, I would hope, but probably not anytime soon. With the story kind of being that maybe Beerus has been slacking off, maybe Beerus has been sleeping a lot and eating a lot, and maybe he's not as strong as he once was, and maybe Beerus realizes it and then takes training with Whis more seriously, and then we have Beerus kind of come back even stronger. See, that would be awesome. Kind of like you break Beerus down, you rebuild him. That would be great. I would love to see that. You have some development here. The majority of Dragon Ball fans want Super to go past the end of Z. Do you think they would actually go ahead and do that eventually? I feel they're going to milk this 10-year time skip as long as possible. I did a video about it called the 10-year time skip in Dragon Ball Super, and they're probably going to milk this 10-year time skip as long as possible. You're right. But I think at some point it needs to happen, or else we're going to be stuck here forever. It's going to get boring. I don't know what they're planning over at Toei Tower in Japan, but I certainly hope that they do they do pass it at some point. John Legger, I find it funny that Kami would let Piccolo die to the Saiyans instead of saying, hey, if we fuse, we would be like 2 to 3 arcs stronger than everyone else. That's a great point, actually. That is a great point. Perhaps he didn't think it would work. Perhaps he didn't understand that because of, Piccolo fusing with Nail and Kami not really knowing about Namekian fusion that well. That could be it. I don't remember. Make SSJ look a joke at that point in the story makes you think Piccolo could have been the savior of Namek easily. Well, yeah, if Piccolo and Kami had fused in the Saiyan Saga, which actually would be a pretty good what if, they would be the strongest character significantly above everybody for a long time. Super Namekian Piccolo, if he has the same power boost as he had in the Android arc, which he probably would not because Piccolo was stronger then, but even if he didn't, it's safe to say that Super Namekian Piccolo would probably beat Frieza, at least in the first 3 forms. Again, low-balling, high-balling, he would destroy him. Because remember, this Piccolo was able to go toe-to-toe with 17. And because of that, he would probably be able to beat 19 and 20 pretty easily, and Imperfect Cell before he absorbed those people easily. So, yeah, he would be mid-Cell arc tier if you're going to scale him up high-ball. Low-ball, maybe a little less than that, but you're right. He would be way ahead of everybody for a long time. Would have solved a lot of problems, but maybe they were afraid about losing the Dragon Balls. Who knows? Definitely, Super Namekian Piccolo would have stomped the shit out of Vegeta and Nappa with ease. That wouldn't have even been a competition. And even Goku with Kaioken times 4 would have lost Super Namekian Piccolo. Champazar, what are some things DBS you believe could have done better than they were? Not animation, more like the storytelling of scripts, such as maybe not having Vegito appear for like 5 minutes, or the Future Trunks saga not having a nonsensical ending. Well, the ending of that arc sucked, but that was more so probably Toriyama's call. Vegito appearing in 5 minutes, that's like kind of fan service stuff. Whenever I hear Dragon Ball fans criticize Super, a lot of them say a lot of really sort of surface level fan service stuff. Like, well, they should have given us more of this and more of that and more fusion. But that's all fan service stuff. Like, that doesn't matter in the overall scheme of the story. Like, just because you want Vegeta to kill a main villain does not mean it serves the story right, you know? If the story is leading to that, like what Resurrection F should have been, Vegeta should have killed Frieza in that movie, then yeah, for sure do it. But if there's no real story tension to build to that, there's just no, you know what I mean? There's no point in doing it. But I think a lot of fans kind of have this sort of fan fiction mentality. A lot of Dragon Ball fans do. And you got to snap out of that a little bit to analyze this. The problem with Super is that most of the arcs were written as movies and they're too short and it doesn't have a sort of a real story to them. Like each arc has like, you know, there's a story, but it's not like a long sort of, you know, ebbs and flows of a story. Kind of like what the old Dragon Ball arcs were. The Piccolo arc, the Red Ribbon Army, Saiyan, Frieza, Cell, Buu. Those are long arcs that have kind of twists and turns and, you know, that kind of stuff. Super didn't really have that. 2 tournament arcs, 2 movie retellings, and then the Goku Black arc, which was just them going back and forth in time. There's a story there, but it's not enough of a story to have it compared to the old stuff, right? So I think what they should have done is actually written out a story. Taken what Toriyama wrote and added to it, and I don't mean just filler, actually worked with the man to create a story that kind of has twists and turns and shocks us and gives us these great moments, even more so than what Super did. So that's fundamentally the problem. Not to mention that you mentioned not to mention production, but you did have different writers working on every episode, and that of course makes things odd because, every episode sort of has its own like it doesn't really fall back to the previous one because it didn't have that tight of a production schedule, so it did kind of create these weird moments that things would happen in one episode and it wouldn't matter in the next one, you know, which was kind of annoying, especially in Tournament of Power. So stuff like that. I did do a video called 7 Ways to Improve Dragon Ball Super like sometime last year. I forget when. So I'll probably link to it at the end of this video, which is now. So thank you for watching the Q&A. A little bonus video for y'all. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you have a great rest of your evening. And I'll see y'all Saturday when Oppa and I are going to be discussing the next manga chapter. Our predictions. Moro's Hand. Moro's Hand. We're talking about all that good stuff next, well, Saturday. This Saturday. Have a good one. See you then.